Okay. So, 30 minutes. Ember. Oh, well, I was Ember, I guess. Let me go over here. Oh, that's why, because I am Ember. Wachakaya. Look at that. Beautiful. Okay. I have a couple Archon shots on her. Casting speed, health and energy pickups give each other, effectiveness on energy and effectiveness on energy. Pretty good. Move to here. Pretty nice stuff. This is both of two over. It's not both. She has more than two. Where I get overguard, and also whenever I hit things with Inferno, they can drop an energy orb. Then you have my energy right there, or energy, arcane energize. A little bit redundant, but I really like having as much upkeep of my energy as humanly possible. Something that would actually make this build go a lot harder is if I actually had, what is this? Oh, where is it? This. Preparation, but alas. You got to see, I just woke up, so, it's how it be. Pretty good build. I do like using the Cedo. The regular one is one of my most used. But I digress. Yeah, the dual toxis. I don't actually have its Incarnon. I keep on forgetting to get it. I have actually a pretty good ribbon though for it, and then, I digress once again. Dex Nakana, I apparently don't have a finished build on you. Let's fix this really quick. Where is you? And then I guess no, not that one. It's this one. There we go. Anyway, let me go to overview one more time. But really good melee weapon. If you're a new player at this current point in time, make sure you get this Dex Nakana. This thing is pretty good with the sauce, I must say. Here are the mods for this. Saint Skizinator, Chorus Artist Pad, my Feastus, as per usual, Mike Rattler, in case for some godforsaken reason I had to end up using it. But yeah, there we go. You get Ember on Saturn from Sargi's work here. So, there's gifts to the Lotus thing. There's a survival I can do. A defection. Absolutely not. We're gonna do this. Oh man. Oh yeah, I'm not using it. colors actually for this, I ended up using the, oh man, what's it called? It's the endgame mage set in Terraria. You got sword, you got stardust, you got vortex, and then you got the one thing for the one I'm thinking of, but I can't remember what's the mage set. And I figured that those colors fit really well, because she's kind of like a archmage of biblical proportions. You know what I'm saying? This one will definitely be easier to manage than whenever I was with Frost, because I have better weapons. And a lot more group capabilities than just my 4, right? Though, actually, I didn't end up using Ember before they changed how her world on fire works. It's called Inferno. It was, I forget, because again, I didn't actually end up getting Ember for a long time. In fact, I might have ended up getting her Prime before I got her base version. I think that's actually how that ended up working out. I had gotten the Frost Ember pack. Whenever they unfolded her. I mean, I had to get that because if you remember Ember Price's pack, because okay. Back in the times of ancient time, right? A little bit of redundancy there, but there used to be void keys, right? Now, void keys aren't relics in the slightest. They are much different in the sense that they would give you, there was like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, I think. And essentially what would happen is that you would go into one of these tiered missions. Let's say it's a survival. And every 5 minutes, you would get a random prime part. You didn't get to select. You didn't get to select anything. You just get a random part. And you just had to pray that you get the one that you wanted. Now, at the same time, Ember had actually been bolted at the same time that it was being pushed over to the relic system, I believe. Don't at me on that. It's just kind of conjecture. I think so. She was getting bolted at the same time. I think there was a slight bit of overlap, so one could acquire her relics before she was actually bolted. She might have been bolted, I couldn't tell. But essentially her prices were exorbitant. I think their actually prices were exorbitant even before the relic system was well before it was implemented. And if you think it's only a couple of hundred that it could have been, we're talking 2,000. People were trying to sell Ember Prime sets, and people were buying Ember Prime sets for 2,000 platinum or even over. Of course, this was at a time before written, so prices like that were like, what, the only other thing that would come close to that would have been a Prime Chamber. Because Prime Chamber, I think, only came from a single event, a single clan event, that never came back. So if you didn't get it, you were shit out of luck. That's how it was for a couple of them back in the day. A lot of them, or a couple of them that were rare and super expensive. The main was one of them, because that was an Acolyte mod that you can get now regularly. There used to be a time before it was actually in the borrowed shop. Yeah, mods in Ember, and of course, and then Sakaris as well, were all super expensive back in the day. I say mods, but specific mods. Like, Argon Scope, is that what it's called? Something Scope? I can't remember. Also, Acolyte mod, that one was highly sought after. I actually ended up getting one for free before it was put into, I think, like the Demo Fleet table or something. Before they Steel Pass was the thing, and the Acolytes would only be in the Acolyte event that only comes out once every 5 Plague Stars. That gives you an idea of how rarely the Acolyte event used to come around. I'm losing my mind there because I'm trying to remember what I was just saying. Holy, it just floated away, the thought. It's like I just let go of my balloon on accident, Jesus. Argon Skull, that was something to do with it. Oh, yes, I got it for free from somebody that was feeling extra generous that day. And the thing is, though, is that my builds were terrible, right? And I think at the point I didn't really care about it. I didn't find much use in the mod. I still do to this day, so I was like, okay, well, I have this mod that I'm not going to use. I'm going to sell it. So I did. And I was able to sell it for like 300, I think. No scam, that's just the price that it was at, right? I looked it up, and that's what the price that I sold it on. That was like average price. Yeah, cool stuff. Now there's plenty of things that go for thousands of platinum ribbons for some godly sake. You should never spend anywhere close to 1,000 ribbons, okay? There's no investment for that. Especially since you get 2 free ribbons that you can get from Paladino every week, and considering XMI are cool, like, you know, just common out the last week. You should have, I mean, I didn't used to have all that many ribbon slingers. And then I fell into like 1,500 or so after the Million Beast event. Like, it was crazy. And also Holmania has a bunch of excellence, right? So you should have a lot if you pass the one with them. I think you can still earn them even if you're not in the war. But then again, you wouldn't be in the main as well. But you should have a couple. And it's every week you can get 35,000 and 2 ribbons. That gives you more than enough yeah, that's how I have like over 170. I think I do stream. Should. But I don't do a lot of weekly stuff, but I do log in more than one occasion and those ribbons. Now, of course, I don't really log them, but I do have over 170 of them. I have ribbons for weapons you probably forgot about. stubbers. The twin stubbers. I think but let's see. I can get niche weapons that nobody ever uses. But I do have a lot of them. And all from, like 99% of them are from Paladin. As soon as I just log in, grab it. Okay, of course you're probably not gonna have that many ribbon slots. But again, like, if you have enough platinum to be spending thousands on a singular ribbon, you should be spending that money fucking buying ribbon slots so you can go get one. It's not worth thousands, okay? Like, personally, I think even 500 is too much. I think that's still an acceptable amount to be spending on. Anything over 1,000, you're not seeing that money back. There is no investment, and you should not. I think I've told this story before, but I'm gonna say it again because it's a lesson in naivety and not being dumb. Whenever I got the Banshee Prime access, I spent 1,500 platinum on a uniform that I got used. 1,500, right? And it's like I never got the investment out of that. I really liked the uniform at the time. I did use the uniform a pretty decent amount after I got the ribbon, but there was no reason to get that right, especially because at the point in time there was no steel path. So, and I wasn't doing like level cap endurance missions, so there was literally no reason. Frankly, the only reason why you would want like a super fancy god that somebody deems as 1,500 platinum or whatever, some stupid price, is if you're trying to min-max the game and do level cap content. Because whenever you do level cap, you gotta think about what you're doing. You gotta have a lot of pretty good knowledge base to achieve that, right? Mechanics and whatnot, how damage adds up and stacks with itself, and all that jazz. But if you're not doing that, any weapon can use the Stug can do Steel Path, okay? And I have a Steel Ribbon, by the way. Technically, it's not a niche weapon because it's like a popular weapon, but using it wise, like if you put the correct mods together and stack up the damage and whatnot, you can do Steel Path with the damn stuff, okay? So don't spend an exorbitant amount on ribbons. There's no, even if it's for a weapon like the Tory, for example. Let's say you get something super crazy, right? Or you see something super crazy. You love that Tory, so much. You see a ribbon that's like crit chance, crit damage, status chance or something, right? And like minus zoom or something. And somebody's like falling towards like to try to sell them for like 10,000. But let's go back to like 2,000. You should look at that and be like, no, that's not worth the price. Even though it's a fantastic ribbon, it's not worth the price. There's no point. You're better off just going off and trying to get one for yourself. That's why it's a popular thing for people to be like, why don't you buy a trash ribbon for this one? Because that's the way to do it. You will spend your investment in a ribbon by rolling it into the stats that you want is significantly better. Will actually return your investment if it is there. But spending thousands and thousands of platinum on one ribbon that's good now. Because like the thing is that it increases or decreases in price depending on the rolls. Even if it's a god roll, it's like, why? It's a god roll. I don't need to roll it anymore. There's no point in me rolling it anymore. I think it actually makes it less. Really, I think it makes it cheaper. If you have plenty of rolls. I think it shouldn't matter. Even though technically it's better to have it cheaper, right? I don't think it should matter how many rolls a weapon has. Unless it's just like a fracture that has 53 rolls and it's like not good. I can see why that would be a lot. But yeah. Now, the market since Riven's drop has been interesting. There even used to be a drama about like the fucking Riven Mafia that actually tried to take down some websites and whatnot that would give players information on how much Rivens should be priced at. True story. It's called Kim something. I can't. But essentially, you could go to this website and put in the stats that you had on your Riven for the weapon that it was on, and it would give you a list of similar Rivens that it ended up pricing at this point, right? Of like what other players have priced that same Riven at. Now this clan, I think it was actually tried to actually take the site and get it taken off. I think they actually succeeded. But like they were serious. Like they wanted to like corner the Riven market and charge people whatever they wanted. They wanted to be the only people in the game that were selling Rivens. Or actually had a set price on Rivens. It's crazy. Again, you're gonna have to fact check that because I'm not remembering from the back of my ass here about the whole thing. I do remember something about the Mafia and a site trying to be taken down. But fact check that bad boy right there. Look it up, see what you want. It should generally be about the same stuff, but I am trying to remember something I heard about years ago. Having good energy economy for ability spam builds is so nice. I have a distinct impression that somehow, for some reason, the singular viewer that I have counted at the top there is counting myself. Even, I mean, shit, even though I'm shouting my random depths of space for no reason. Sorry. Breach surgeons is good. It's good. That's why I've been able to like chunk those acolyte health bars, as I obviously should with fire blast. But heat. And plus, every time that I'm looking at fire statuses, I'm applying to because of vitality. Is it necessary? Probably not. It's probably not doing as much as one might hope, but I like having it. Excuse me. You know, I've noticed that violence is just not really spawning as often as I might have expected. Usually I can't avoid the sucker. It's just always spawning. Oh, I completely just disabled my immolation for literally no reason. Coming up on the last portion. Turns out Ember's pretty good. I didn't even have it completely maxed out. Of course, the only thing that gets impacted by me not having Warframe maxed out is the stats dropping. But I still get my full mod capacity, which, by the way, is a reason within itself to get to MR30 if you don't think there's any reason to past like, well, MR16 is like the highest amount of mastery you need to get all the weapons, which is true, and use any of the weapons rather, but or use any river mod that you want, which is also true. However, at MR30, whenever you have a brand spanking new weapon with no potato in it, no nothing, you get 30 mod credits out the gate. You put one of the potatoes in, and now you have 60. And it's rank 0. You've never leveled up before. You can put a full build on it. And not have to worry. Whenever you form a things too, you don't have to worry about your mods dropping off, because it lowers in capacity. Ouch. Because you have the always have the max allotted capacity given to you. And plus, you get like, you get a free legendary core, which allows you to upgrade any mod, whether it be an Umbral mod, whether it be an Archon mod, whether it be a Prime mod, completely free of cost. It will void the endo and the credit cost and just allow you to upgrade to max instantly. If you get free one of those, you get a free legendary core actually every single time that you go up in a legendary rank. So at this point in time, there's like 5 free legendary cores that you get just on the table waiting for you to claim. Once you get up there in Master, you can actually get to legendary ranks. But you also get, I can't remember if it's just one or it might be 3 might be 3. I think you get 3 from MR30. But yeah, I think there's plenty of incentive to go up in MR as much as you can. I remember I did a huge MR binge a while back to get to MR30. I went through every planet to get every warframe that I had, base warframe I had maxed out. Went through and bought the rest of the syndicate weapons, the ones that I had maxed out to go max out. And then I ended up going and buying various prime warframes or sets that I was missing. Oh my god. There you go. Perish. Beautiful, beautiful. Up to the very, very last portion. Any warframe that can get overguard is intrinsically going to be okay. Like, it just not having to worry about status effects does so much for survivability. It's not. That's why Caliban is such a good early game option, because he makes himself up to 50% more resistant to given he adapts. Like, he has adaptation intrinsic onto his kit because of his passive. That is good. That pays dividends in survival. Not having to worry about slash procs or toxic procs or any type of procs being down over. It does a lot. It does a lot for survival. Yes, I do have a Sayonara on my Ember Prime because I'm not a donor. Plus, you can't tell me that this fucking Dante sign is bullshit. I was going for that Archmage style. I think I said that earlier. And the Dante sign on is just heat, straight heat. There we go, but that's 30 minutes. I had to fill in the gap with some kind of nonsense. It's 30 minutes. Oh yeah. Ooh, ribs. Oh Lord, oh my God. I'm dying. Let's look what we got here. We got some stuff. We got some of this. We got some of that. Here, brilliant. There we go. Amazing. That was Ember. Now, let's go over to, it should be Equinox now, right? Yep. Then it's Ceranos with the EFE Mars with the Doorclave. There we go. This is my next one on the list. But yeah, that was 30 minutes with Ember. That's game, set, match. Perchance.